Let's talk about it. 2025, nobody wants to work. Let's get into the clips.
All I said is I don't agree that we should have to work 40 years of our life. And I'm getting called lazy. People are telling me you're going to be homeless. People are also telling me I'm going to get fired. I'm a millennial that has been working since 2004 when I graduated high school. And it's messed up that you guys will come on here and talk to a hardworking man and tell him, grow up. Also, what did you expect? You shouldn't work at Walmart.
First, I want to say no one has to work 40 years. Age is a number, not an age. Again, like I said, it's a number. It's a mathematical formula. You break down how much you need based off what type of lifestyle you want to make. Once you come to that number, um, then you figure out an occupation or some type of business that you can start to get you to that number as quickly as possible. Again, no one wants to work. We all wish we could just stay at home, lounge around, take vacations, and do whatever we were passionate about. But that's just not the reality. We're all put in a game called life, and whether you want to play it or not, you're in the game. So instead of complaining, why not maximize and find ways to get ahead? That's my mindset on it.
Okay, I'm not even lying to you when I say this. I would probably accept working 40 hours in a 2 day period, even if it meant I had to spend the night at my job. I am so fucking serious. Because the fact that 40 hours is stretched amongst 5 days, and then we only get 2 days, 48 hours, 2 days to recover, to then do the week again. I genuinely would spend 2 days at work, just 2 days working 24 hours straight with breaks, of course, and just to have like a free 5 day week. I would do that.
Let me know in the comments below. Would you work two 20-hour shifts in a week to have the remaining 5 days off? Or would you rather just work your 40 hours a week and have it broken up into 8 hours? Let me know how you feel about that in the comments below.
People talking about what it's like to hit your late 20s, early 30s and have complete mental breakdown. I have been sold a bag of goods my entire life. Going through high school, college, get the good job, make the money, go pay some bills, go get a better job, go get more bills, pay those bills. The version of success that I'm now realizing was not my own. This is coming from someone that has worked in corporate America and objectively has had successes. I try to look further down the road, 15, 20, 30 years, and I don't really see a path that seems even remotely exciting to me. So is this just something people are coming to terms with that gets hard when you're in your late 20s, early 30s, where you just have to kind of accept that this is it now. This is my life. Buckle up because this is going to be a long haul. That's just something I don't feel is too good about.
Again, no one's forcing you to get a ton of bills. No one's forcing you to go out there and get an expensive car or an expensive house note. I mean, if you want to, you want to retire early and you don't mind, living more of a minimal lifestyle, not my thing. But that's possible. Again, this idea that people think that they're not going to be able to go through life and not really have to do any type of hard work or only be able to work 20 hours a week, I just don't get it. Um, I don't know, maybe I'm wired different, maybe I'm built a little bit different, but I don't see why people would just want to sit around at home and really do a bunch of nothing. That gets boring after a while. Even if after you take a little vacation for a couple days, you at home, it's like, damn, like it's really nothing to do. Everybody else is working. I mean, it's only so much TV and errands you can run around to. It's not much to do. The thing is to find I think a lot of people have jobs where really they're not properly compensated. And that's the one of the big core issues. If they were properly compensated or actually went into something maybe that they weren't super passionate about, but they can do and actually perform at the job and they were making some good money, I think a lot of people will be much more happier. But I think a lot of people are miserable. Then you compound that with their not really making money at that job. And that's where you have situations where people are talking about they don't want to work, they want to quit, and all this other nonsense.
Hour shift, get up an hour early. Then, if you have to run errands afterwards, that's more. Then, cooking and eating, that's 12 hours right there. Try to get decent amount of sleep. That leaves 4-ish hours a day for yourself. That's not insane to y'all? Of course, it is insane. This whole 40-hour work week is absolutely atrocious, all right? The human body is not meant for this. We are meant to have some time of joy and play. And here in America, they act like they never want to give us vacation time. 2 weeks of vacation time, that's it. Maybe some people don't even get that. Other countries, they get way more time off. They get mental health days. Do we get that here in the US? No, they stick their noses up at it because they act like mental health is not a big deal when in reality it is. I would say it's just as important as physical health, okay? Because your brain literally controls everything. I want to know what would be your solution to this problem? Maybe having 4-day work weeks. What would you do? And actually have livable wages for all.
People want their cake and eat it too. They want to make maximum amount of dollars, but then they want to work the least amount of days. It's just not feasible. It just doesn't make sense to think that you're going to be able to have the maximum amount of time off, but then you want to make maximum amount of dollars. To me, I just don't see how people think that logically that makes sense. Maybe let me know in the comments below. Am I off? People want to have 4 days, 4 days off. Well, let's be honest. You're not gonna really do nothing on them 4 days off. You're gonna be bullshitting. You're just gonna spend more money. So then you're gonna be crying and complaining about, man, now I need even more money because I have more time off. Which more, like I said, when you're out and about, life costs money. And if you're not at work, you're not probably making money for most people. Most people don't have some type of major passive income coming in. The best solution to this, people need to understand is finding a screw all this passion stuff, all this passion and do what you love and then the money will follow. That's nonsense. Leave all that Disney fairy tale talk for the movies. Go and get a skill set, something that you can tolerate. Again, it doesn't have to be the most interesting, it doesn't have to be the most exciting, but get something that can compensate you well to where you can put money to invest, whether it be like in the stock market, get you some real estate holdings, and then find you a equally yoked partner. Find you a equally yoked partner, and y'all on the same page and understand. In 15 to 20 years, y'all never have to work again. But we live in a world now where if it's 50-50 or 70-30, that's like having a roommate, and it's a whole nother topic for discussion. But again, following your passion and not having an equally yoked teammate is why a lot of people will never retire and work till they die, in my opinion.
The only one who has no freaking clue what to do with their life. Like, I feel like I don't want to do nothing. Don't want to be a nurse, don't want to be a doctor, don't want to go back to school, don't want to learn a trade. I don't want to work. I don't want to do anything but enjoy the little time that I have on earth and travel. That's about it. Like, I literally have no desires. Like, some people grow up and they know they want to do this, they know they want to do that. That has never been me. Like, I have never known what path I wanted to take because I really don't want to take any path. I just want to live. That's it. I feel like we have all overcomplicated the hell out of life. And I just don't feel in my soul that this is what life was meant to be. I just really don't. We were supposed to be in the garden, naked, picking flowers, and being happy. Like, it was never supposed to be all this. I just feel like all of this is way too much stress and way too much pressure for the average person.
And sis, you can still do that. You can take yourself down to your local woods and you can go live in there. You could go live off the land, and then you could come back and report to us and let us know how that's working out for you.
You know what the biggest scam is? Working 40 hours a week for someone else just to be too tired to come home and spend time with the people that you're working so hard for.
No, that's called taking care of your responsibilities and being a provider.
Dealing with the emotional reality of having to work for the rest of your lives. I genuinely do not know how I'm supposed to do this for 40 more years. I 100% believe I do not have it in me. What the fuck am I supposed to do?
Again, you do not have to work for 40 years. It comes down to a mathematical formula, like I said at the beginning of the video. You do not have to work 40 years. It's a number. Once you achieve that number that works for your lifestyle, you no longer have to work. But again, a lot of these people who say they don't want to work 40 years, they're tapping out. If you was to do a little bit of research and digging on these individuals, you would see that they don't want to do anything. They don't want to get any type of career. They don't want to get any type of in-demand skill set. They don't want to do anything that can better their life. They just want to be lazy, sit around and and do a bunch of nothing. And then complain about how we need to have shorter work weeks and how you need to get paid the maximum amount of dollars for doing the least amount of work. It does, and it just doesn't work like that.
I asked two of my coworkers yesterday what would they do if they did not have to work for a living. Like if you didn't need money and if you didn't have to work for a living, what would you do? And they both were confused. I asked them at different times. They both were confused, and I was confused as to why they were confused. So one of them said, like, if I didn't have to work for a living, I would just be bored. The other one said, she was like, what do you mean if I didn't have to work for a living? I'm like, if you didn't need money. She was like, so you're just saying I would like have to just be at home with my kid? And I was just like, I said, like, so if humans did not have to work for a living, like, you don't know what you would do, and neither one of them knew what they would do with their time here on Earth. One of them was like, well, if we didn't have to work for a living, we couldn't do anything because we wouldn't have money. And I said, no, I'm saying, like, if we as a community, if we as human beings didn't even rely on money, like, what would you do? And she was just like, well, I don't know, I'll just be bored. And the other girl,
And that's truly an honest answer. If you had most people, there would be nothing to do. Even if you had a limited funds, after a while, there's only so many places you could travel to if you had no time. It's only so many places you could go out to eat. You would be bored within a year or two. You would have been everywhere and been bored. Again, the key is you have to have some type of purpose that's bigger than yourself. That's what a lot of people are not understanding here. When you have a career, you have a skill set, then you have a family, maybe have a child or two. What you're doing is bigger than yourself. But again, like I said, we're kind of moved away from family structures. We're more in a society of baby mamas and baby daddies. So a lot of people don't understand and grasp that concept.
the girl, she was like the one who asked me, like, did I mean like she would just have to stay at home with her kid? I said, like, no, like, what would you do with your time? And she was like, I don't know what I would do if I didn't have to work. And I said, she was like, it would be really nothing to do. And she said she didn't know what she could do with her time if she didn't have to work. And I was like, I was like, I would sign up for pottery classes, like to learn how to do pottery, like how to make bowls, how to make coffee cups, like things like that. I was like, I would take guitar lessons.
Let's keep it 100 here. How boring is that going to get within a month of you putting some clay pots together? How many damn guitar songs you going to learn if you had nothing else to do all day every day? That would get boring very, very quickly.
Like, I would just invest. I would do things. I would learn how to do things that I want to do, like creative things. And I told the other girl that too, and she was like, well, we wouldn't have money to do those things. I said, I'm talking about if you could do anything with your time, and us as a society did not rely on money. And she's like, well, we couldn't do anything if we didn't rely on money.
You see how her coworkers are actually thinking with logic and reasoning, and she's trying to get them to go down this Disney fantasy land of this world where we live on no money, everything is for free. Even if we didn't have money, it would be some type of, you would still have to barter, you would still have to trade or something. Her coworkers are trying to be logical and reasonable, and she's in this fantasy land talking about where, we're living in a Garden of Eden.
Said no, if you think about it, if we did not rely on money, we would all just be doing things for fun. We wouldn't be doing it for money. I said, if I knew how to if I had fun making coffee cups because I know how to do pottery, I wouldn't be charging people to teach them how to make pottery cups because we don't rely on money.
So where would she be getting the raw materials from? Where would she be getting the machinery for the pottery? Let me know in my comment below. Am I off or is she off? Because what she's saying to me makes absolutely no sense whatsoever in the real world. You still have, no matter what, you still have raw materials. And if no one is making money off it, what would be the incentive to produce anything?
I'd be teaching them for fun because that's what I love to do. And they both were just like, well, I never thought about something like that. And it just made me think, am I weird? Because I think about stuff like that. And then another thing happened. So yesterday, this week is dental week or something like that. And this man that owns the Raising Cane's down the street from us, he came in, he was like, hey, I'm going to all the dentist offices around here, and I'm giving out these cards. So he gave us like 1,000 stack of cards where like we could give out to other patients. But honestly, so I kept some. I took off 6 because my kids like Raising Cane's. So I was like, okay, all you have to do is, it's a reward. It's a card and it says reward on it, and we have to write what the reward for. I could simply write that I'm giving you a reward because you have a beautiful smile, or I'm giving you a reward because you brush your teeth. Like, it's a fake reward, but the card gives you a free meal. So anybody who wanted some, they took some for free, us who work here, and then we can give them out to the patients. And I was like, I thought about it. I was like, we really could just give this out to the homeless people. It's only kids meals, but we could give this out to the homeless people. And this lady was like, she's like, no, honey, you have to. She's like, these are for people who actually come to the dentist's office and get work done. I'm thinking, girl, we as co-workers just took some of these. So it's not, you're limiting it to things that you want to give it out to for. But ultimately, we could just give these to the homeless people that actually don't have food. And when I think about stuff, when I just say stuff like that, and people reject, like, to me, what's common sense.
I'd be willing to bet money that this woman has a husband or some type of trust fund. Because when you have this level of delusion, you must be real comfortable in life. That's the only way you can get to this level and have this much time on your hands to think of these things when you got a husband that's a provider and protecting. Or again, like I said, her dad or mom then left her some money. Because this is the only way you could just have this type of level of so far gone from reality. Yeah, I could tell you her life is good. Just off this video, I could tell you her life is good. And like I said, her man is doing a wonderful job because he has her so comfortable where she's in her, looks like SUV with some Napa leather seats. Again, we see the paint. I see the dual sunroofs in there. So I mean, things seem to be going okay. But yeah, she's out of this world with this delusion.
I'm like, am I crazy? It makes me think that we as a society, if we really cared about people, we would not be charging people for the basic necessities, because we're really living on a planet that has given us an abundance of things that we need when it comes to water, when it comes to homes, when it comes to just the bare minimum necessities. Like, we're charging people out of greed, and the people that are capable to give don't want to give because they're selfish. It's just that simple. And sometimes I talk to people like this and they're like, well, that's not possible. It's not possible to give everybody. It's not possible because the system that we live in didn't make it possible. But if we actually cared about people, it's definitely possible. If he just came to every dental shop and gave out free meals, free meal rewards, just to promote his business at Raising Cane's, you're telling me it's not possible for him to go to every homeless man on the street and give them out free meals?
No, that's not possible because he's doing it to drum up business. That's the whole goal. He's going to the dentist office and giving these rewards to people who have jobs. So yeah, I give you a free meal. You come in, you like Raising Cane's, you come again. So if I give you one free meal and then over the course of a year you come 10 times, who's won? It's a business decision. If I give these to a homeless person, they have no money. So yeah, you give them this reward for one time and they come, and then even if they think the food is the greatest thing they ever tasted in their life, they do not have the means to purchase any more. So he loses. And then ultimately, if this business is not able to generate any revenue, now Raising Cane's has to close. So now no one gets to enjoy the food. Again, like I said, she's living very well because she has this utopia mindset. I mean, which is fine, but you know, this we got to come back to reality here.
Just because they need it, it's not. It's possible. It just wouldn't. It just wouldn't benefit him. It's possible. Whatever.
Again, that would not be a sustainable business model. People don't invest hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars into businesses to go into charity, to go into nonprofit work. If anything, it would make much more sense for him to be a successful business owner, be able to do well, and then be able to give back to the community, give back to the homeless. That's a much more sustainable business model than to have a business and just give everything away for free. Because how, let's just be real, how long would you be in a business? But let me know, 2025, nobody wants to work. Let me know how you feel about it. Let me know if we lived in this utopia land, what would you do if you didn't have any bills, money wasn't an issue, and you could just do whatever you wanted? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.